Jenny, stand by, okay?
The Northwest home for paranormal. You're listening to U.S. Phenomenon with your host, Mario Magana.
Space Needle, good evening. I'm your host. This is U.S. Phenomenon. If this is your first time, or if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, you can do so by searching for us on your favorite podcasting platform. Just search U.S. Phenomenon, or go to my website, onairmario.com, to catch up on the latest video streams. First, we'd like to take a moment to thank and welcome our Twitch and YouTube streamers, plus our radio affiliates, KOSW, KGRG, KAPY, and our flagship station, KVI. And we'd like to welcome our new affiliate, North Beach Community TV. Tonight, we explore the mysteries of the universe and the power that exists beyond the tangible world. We have a very special guest, Chris Dufresne, a renowned psychic of 40 years who has helped countless people tap into their own spiritual ability to connect with their own higher selves. We will delve into the world of psychics, their ability, and the way they use this to help others. Sit back, relax, and prepare to embark on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment.
Hi, I'm Chris Dufresne. I'm a psychic. I help people in my own time. I help people in my job. I feel very honored, very privileged, very lucky, and very grateful to be doing what I do, because this is an individual that comes into my reading room, or I call them, and they open up their life for me. If you'd like to reach me, call me at 408-379-7070. We've had that phone number for over 40 years.
It is my pleasure to welcome back to the show, to U.S. Phenomenon, my good friend, Chris Dufresne. Happy birthday, my friend. Welcome to the show.
57 big ones, Mario. It's great to see you. I'm so grateful that you had me back. I've been missing you.
Chris, it's been for how long has it been? At least a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year. It's been at least a year. And so happy birthday to you. I have a cake for you here.
Do I get to eat it? Can you toss it this way?
Right. So happy birthday to you, man. And it's such an honor to have you back on the show. It's a great privilege to have you back. What's crazy about everything, since we last spoke, of course, we got picked up the brand new radio station, KVI, thanks to them. You said this a long time ago in our previous interview. Hey, you're going to be doing TV. You're going to do the show, but you're going to also do TV. And I told you, yeah, sure. Right, Chris. Yeah, right. It just didn't feel like I was going to be doing TV, but we welcome a new affiliate, North Beach Community TV, to the crew.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrific. You're doing so great, Mario, and it's going to keep on coming. But, you know, from the first time I talked to you, I don't think you really got to be psychic to know that you got it together and you do well with people and what you put forth. So it's going to keep growing.
So, you know, there's been so many people that are hitting us up. So we're going to lay down the ground rules tonight. And here's what's going to happen. Okay. People are texting in. They're going through the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel. We have so many ways you can watch. You're watching. So a lot of people are saying happy birthday. Hello, Mario. It's great. Everyone's just going through these, you know, Kai, happy birthday to both of us. Here's what I'm going to say. Let's lay down the ground rules. Number one, hey, use decent language. Everyone from 0 to 100 is going to be listening to this. Don't say stuff that you wouldn't want your grandmother to hear or your grandparents. Let's not be offended. Remember, we do have radio affiliates that we are trying to keep a clean radio show. And either if you have one question, you can either call or text us, or you can send your question. So you only get one per call. So one per show. So if you're texting the YouTube channel and you have a question, you're not going to get a call. So let us know what you want. Okay. I know we have the lines already open, and here's what we're going to do. So we're going to burn through these. And the best way for me, I think, is you all have the phone number. So I'm going to entrust you when I say, hey, Jenny, call now, or Lita, call now. Then you can call the hotline and you have the phone number. I don't want to have to call everyone because I don't want the phone. We're going to blow up the phone. I know it. We will. So it's a digital line. We have Jenny on the line. She's our first caller. She's from Shoreline. Now, Jenny, welcome to the show and welcome to Talk to Chris.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How can I help you?
So my question, I'm wondering if my dad is today, and will he send me signs, and how can I recognize those signs?
I think he's already doing some of that right now. I think at 2:30 in the morning, you're waking up. I think that's from the energy from him. I think he wants you to know that he likes going with you in a vehicle, rather you're driving it or passenger in it. And I would just turn the radio on to any station that comes in first clear, because I think you'll get your subliminal messages that way. But I also believe that you've had several past lives with your father, because that connection was so damn strong with him. And you were the favorite case you did. Yeah, well, you do know. And so when souls recognize each other, Jenny, you never lose him. Ultimately, when it's your time, which is going to be many years away from now, he'll be right there for you.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in.
All right. So now, Lita, go ahead and call us. We're just going to burn through these calls tonight. Lita, go ahead and give us a call at 775-990-5151. We'll go ahead and take that. Chris, you know, what's interesting to me as we continue to go through this, I just, for myself, I find it just challenging these days to let's just see who. Let's see, where is Lita? Let's see, where is she at here on this list? All right, come on. If you have it, go ahead and call in. Let's see. Here we go. Let's. Here we. Go ahead, caller. Who's this? Go ahead. Who's this? Go ahead, caller. Oh, I forgot to remind everyone. Please turn down your TV streams if you're watching, and listen on the phone if you're calling in. Is this Lita?
No, this is Kathy.
All right, Kathy, it's not your turn yet, so call back when we say Kathy, call back. Okay.
I know.
Thank you.
Oh, on the.
That's right. So let's go ahead and give Lita a call here. Let's see. Lita, let's see. She's calling in now. Let's call Lita. It's interesting to me that, Chris, going through all this time since we've last had you on.
Oh, it's Rita.
Okay, Lita, welcome to the show here. Lita from Issaquah. You're on the line with Chris.
Hi, Lita.
Hi, Chris. I had a question for you. Is there something exciting about to happen in my life that's coming up real soon?
Well, I don't know if you call it. I don't know if you call it exciting. I think that you're out of the desert period now, and your life is going to start rolling a whole lot faster. So I think that that's positive because your finances look like that's going to start doing really well in June. Your health is getting much better. You are very low in vitamin D, so you should check that because that little bit of depression, poof, that will go away, and you'll have much more energy, and you'll sleep to your REM cycle through night. So that'll be a big pick me up for you there. But the money's going to be good. The health is good of the family. So I think you're out of the desert period. And that's where you're calling it to pick me up. That something exciting happening. But it is exciting if your life moves at a much faster pace because you're like me. You don't have a lot of patience, but we're both working on it.
That sounds great. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, take care. Thanks for calling in.
You know, I have to say, Chris, after all this time going through all the stuff.
You miss me. No.
No, sure. And it's like, I don't want to abuse the coolness of like being good friends with the world-renowned Psychic Chris, but it's like getting past that piece with you. It's so nice just to be, you're like, come on, Mar, you got to have me on more. We got to do more of these shows. And I think that we're at that spot now where we have the ability to kind of have grown, where individuals can now watch and be a part of the show at any given time. Now, our next person should call in. Her name is Crystal from Tacoma. If you know the phone number to call in, please call us now at 775-990-5151. If your name is Crystal and you're from Tacoma, now you call in. Not everyone else call in. Now just Crystal is going to call in. Okay.
Well, I'll be on anytime you have me. I really enjoy being here. I'm very grateful that you have me on. I like it. I enjoy it. I love helping people. That's what it's all about.
It is. And you know what's interesting? A lot of transitions happen in my own life where, here we go. Let's go. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the show. This is the wrong Crystal. Crystal, no, that Crystal. Hello, Crystal. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're from Tacoma, correct?
Correct.
All right. You're up with Chris.
Hi, Crystal. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How can I help you?
I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't know what to ask.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
She was nervous. She doesn't know what to ask.
Ask me anything you like. I don't bite. And understand something. If you're nervous about talking with a psychic, you really shouldn't be, because if there was going to be something that was going to be horrific happening, psychics have hindsight, and we're going to be able to see that so far in advance that we'll take a detour from it, so we can take a negative situation into a positive situation. We're both on the same team. That means if you're in the trenches, I don't want to, but I'm going to go in the trenches and dig at it. There's no way I could control your life. That's between you and God. I'm just here to help you any which way I can.
Okay, what's in store for my love life?
That will be a new relationship finally, but that time period will be about August, and the description will be actually a lot better with descriptions than names, because names can change, or nicknames, but descriptions don't change. Medium brown hair, about the height of about 5'10". Looks like he's in software, so I would say some type of engineer with that. And I think he's been married, divorced, and single. I think he's about a year your senior. I think you'll meet him out at a restaurant type of an atmosphere that you've never gone to. And I think you're with a friend. You don't even want to be there. You want to go home. But once you're introduced to this particular individual, the chemistry and the connections there. Like sometimes you meet people, you just can't stand them. Sometimes you meet people and you just don't know how to say it, but you just feel a real strong interconnection. So we call that past life recall, because souls can recognize each other. So once this occurs and he gives you his card and you call him, you have lunch and you keep going, you'll know nobody else is in his life because you're seeing him. So you deserve this because you're a very caring person. You're a mother hen to everybody. And you just hate the idea of getting out to date and all that. You have been in a tough relationship basis. So this is healthy, good, and it's a meeting on an even playing field. This is no when you're helping or anything like that. This is equal. So that's going to be different and really great for you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, it's interesting. Kat from Ocean Shores, you're up next. You can call the hotline. For myself too, going through these transitions, everything from being in a relationship, being engaged, not being engaged, and like I was like, Chris, I thought I hit the jackpot, but I don't ever share that with anybody. And I thought, you know what, I'll share tonight, and to be open about it and to say, you know what, it was just a chapter that closed at this point in time. We're looking for not Kai, but we're looking for Kat in Ocean Shores. That's the other. There's a Kai, and then there's a Kat. So the Kat from Ocean Shores, you're up next. But what's interesting to me is having transition, Chris. Just I don't know. I was expecting to be married by this time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when that doesn't work, I mean, it's really, really hard, especially with you, Mario, because you work from your heart. Some people work from their brain, some people work from the heart. That means that you're extremely intense and you're a bit of an empath too. So you should take your extra bit of insurance, as I do. Empaths will notoriously pull all energy to them. So my insurance is, before my feet hit the ground, I always say, please God, surround me in the white light of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Why? Because I want the good and leave the bad by the wayside. And that seems to work, because in 4 decades of my career, I haven't even gotten a hiccup. So it's working. Just like there's power in prayer.
Let's go to Nicole. We'll pull up Nicole here. We'll just start calling them, because I know some of them may not be watching. Some are watching. We'll just pull them up here as they come in, and let's see. All right, Nicole, you're up with Chris Dufresne, psychic.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing really, really good. So I am 5 months out of a breakup, and I've had kind of a tumultuous love life. And I feel like I'm on the verge of like a big change, and like, I don't know, kind of like an epiphany in my life. And I know there's somebody out there for me. I think there's somebody out there for everybody. But I'm going to be 40. Well, not like super.
Are you kidding me? You are definitely the marrying type. And I'm very proud of you by getting out of that situation and staying out of the situation, because, you know, going back and forth, it just does a number on all of us. The only thing that I want to say to you, I know that you're sensitive, but please, please, please trust this new individual that's coming into your life until he gives you a reason not to, because that's not going to occur. Timeline on this is going to be pretty darn quick. It'll be around September of this year. And he's taller, about 6'1.5", maybe 6'2". And he's into, I believe, a little bit of the entertainment realm, but behind the scenes, like the sci-fi and the FX or special effects kind of thing. And he's sensitive like you. He's a perfectionist like you. He overanalyzes things like you. So you have a lot in common you haven't met. And I believe you're going to be introduced to him at a friend. A friend is going to have you over, and you're going to, this person hasn't called this person forever. It's going to stop on by and have dinner too. So you'll be there having dinner, and you'll be very smitten with this. And I think it'll be a good, long lasting relationship. So you don't have to get out. You don't have to date. You don't have to do dating service. You have to do blind dates. You don't have to do any of that. You do need to carry yourself easier to be able to be approached.
Okay. That's actually what I'm working on. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and have a good night.
Take care. Thanks for calling in.
You know, at the end of the day, when people, Kat from Ocean Shores, you're up. If you, not Kai, but Kat from Ocean Shores, you're up next. Brian, stand by from Kansas City. Kathy from Ontario, Canada, will be on the deck. So all of you guys, I know you've received text from me. So you'll call that number that you received a text from me. So Kat from Ocean Shores, Brian from Kansas City, you're up next if Kat does not return the text. So Brian, the phone line is open for you to give us a call. Hopefully you're watching and streaming as well. Chris, when I go through these transitions, or anyone goes through the transition, everyone's got, a love life question or some type of like, am I going to get a new job? Or what do you see in the next chapter for myself, Chris, and for the radio show, or just for me in general?
You're going to do it again to me, but you're going to be picking up more radio. You're going to be doing more podcasts. You're going to be doing more television stuff, and it's going to grow and it's going to be bigger and bigger. And I'll be right there and go along with you when you have me on. And you love doing what you're doing. And then I think you'll step out of that and you'll do different MC stuff or different types of events and things like that, which I think will be nice. So you're going to be pretty much all over the place, but you like that. You're one of those individuals got to have two irons in the fire at one time, because, you're your hardest critic. You always push yourself. So, I mean, you're ahead of the game now.
It's funny that you say that. I'm trying to continue to push the realm for those that are watching.
We all know how stubborn you are.
Well, that is true as well.
I'm a psychic. What am I supposed to do with stubborn? That's not my job description.
We're taking some comments from those from around here that say hi. Sophia says, "Hi, Dad. I'm famous now." Sophia's watching. So Sophia, my daughter, is also watching. She's watching.
Perfect. My mom was probably one of the most stubbornest persons in the world, but it worked for her, not against her, just like it does with you.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you've had, we texted everyone, and for me to go through the phone number to have everyone start calling in. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take your call. I'm going to open the phone lines up. Anyone can call in now. I don't want, this way we can just continue with the flow, the ebbs and flows. So here's how it works. Call the studio number. There it is. 775-990-5151. Let's see here. Don't forget me. Someone says, don't forget me. The phone lines are going to be open. We'll just call. I'm going to just start taking calls. We'll just take them as they come in. Well, let's take them all. And I believe this one is, let's see.
Hello.
Good evening. Who's this?
This is Andrea.
Andrea, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Andrea. Do you have a question, dear?
Did we lose her? I think we lost.
Do you have a question, dear?
I think we lost her.
Call back, Andrea.
Yeah, call back, Andrea. And remember to turn down your TV stream, please. All right, you're up. Who's this?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
This is Andrea.
Okay, go ahead.
I lost you. I just wanted to ask. I'm going through a lot of large life changes right now, and I am starting a new career, and I just want to know I'm going to be successful in it.
Yeah, you're going to be successful. Remember, the vein that you need to stay in is that you're helping people reach their goal, and you're doing all of what you can do to do that. So if you're in that vein of teaching, instructing, counseling, or even getting into life coaching, anything in that realm is good for you. And you're incredibly smart. I'm really surprised you didn't go and become like a family psychologist, because you got so you had to have thought about that. But I don't think you're going to go back to school and do that one. But that's okay. You're going to have a couple careers that you're going to do really well, and that's helping people. So more power to you, because that's what I do. I love helping people too.
All right, let's go to the next. Good evening. Hello. Who's this?
Hi, this is Georgianne.
Hi, Georgiana. This is Chris Dufresne. How can I help you?
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? How's the weather where you're at?
Excuse me?
How's the weather?
Yeah, make sure you turn down your TV.
It's going to be getting cold. Right now it's okay.
What do you call okay where you're at? What is that?
It's what?
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, yeah, I had a lawsuit question. My landlord came into my house and recorded me without permission. I have a criminal lawsuit against her. Will I win this here? And do you have a timeline? Will I get the money I'm asking for?
You're not going to get the money that you're asking for, but they're going to be extremely reprimanded, and you'll get, I think, 30% of what you're asking, which is still going to be okay. And you're going to get your the way to speak and all that. And the good of this is it's not going to be anything like this is going to happen again. And they won't do and further themselves doing anything crazy like this. And you saved, I think, at least 2 other people having to go through this type of heartache. And it's just so uncalled for doing that around you like that. So good for you for taking charge with this.
All right. Thank you for calling. Let's see here. Crystal, you're up next on the show. Good evening, Crystal.
Crystal,
are you there? Go ahead. You're on. Go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, happy birthday, Chris. How are you?
Thank you. What's your question, Crystal?
Okay, my middle-aged adult daughter.
Wait, you're going too fast. Sorry, what'd you say?
My middle-aged adult daughter that doesn't live with us. She lives with her significant other. She's been causing a lot of issues. And I just need to know if, she's going to be okay and if I should be worried about my grandchildren.
Okay, I only got every other word. Can you just simplify this for me so I can help you?
She said that she's worried, wants to know about her daughter and if her granddaughters are going to, and her grandchildren are going to be okay. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. She's got
daughter, I believe, now I'm not a doctor, I'm a psychic, I believe has a little bit of an imbalance there. So she needs to look at that. Okay, chemical imbalance. And the granddaughters are going to be real well and don't have this imbalance and healthy and do really well through their lives. But there's going to be a tug of war when your daughter goes through her mood issues that the children will kind of be a little bit neglect with seeing and things like that. But that will last probably about another 1.5 years before it all gets straightened out and your daughter kind of gets where she needs to be. But I think your granddaughters are amazing, absolutely amazing.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. I know the phone line's blowing up, and so everyone is calling and trying to get through the digital phone line. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the next caller, and if you can't get through, so we're going to take a caller right now. We'll go to the line. Now, everyone else, stand by. When I say open phone line, then you can call in. All right, go ahead. So I believe this is Lloyd. Lloyd, are you there? Good evening.
Hello, Lloyd. Lloyd, yeah.
What happened to Lloyd there? Lloyd, go ahead.
Me?
Yes, go ahead. Who's this?
Hi, my name's Maria. Douglas. Hello.
Maria, good evening. Thank you. So now everyone else who's trying to call in, stand by.
No worries. Hi.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I find myself at times dreaming of loved ones that have passed, and I'm just wondering if you have any messages from any of them for me.
No, I don't think that there's any messages, but I think that they're around you pretty much all of the time. Well, not all the time, but I don't think they're more than, I would say, yelling distance away from you. But, timing is so different between here and the other side. And being that you have a blueprint and a chart of your life, they can see your whole entire future, and you're going to die of old age and natural causes. So there's nothing to be concerned, nothing to be worried about. So it's okay for them to poke their heads in and see how you're doing things like this. There is a grandmother that's around for a little bit of time, but I think that she has one more lifetime to do. This happens to be your last lifetime. So that means you can decide if you're going to do more or not. It's also my last one, and you can't give me all the tea in China to do it, but I love my life and living it. But I'm not doing it again. Your choice is going to be whatever your choice is.
All right, let's go to the next. Thank you. Who's on the line? Go ahead.
This is Kimberly.
Hi. Kimberly.
I want to say happy birthday to both of you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was your question, dear?
Oh, we lost her. She hung up. I hope she calls back. That's unfortunate. Let's see if this is her calling in. That's unfortunate that we lost her there. All right. Well, Kimberly, if you're out there in Kingston, give us a call back. Let's take, let's see who, I guess we'll, I hope she calls back because that was unfortunate.
It
Let's see.
happens, though. It even happens when I'm on my YouTube channel. Things get dropped. It happens.
Let's see here. Let's see if we
can call back.
Chris, when you were talking about lifetimes, you were talking about in regards to how many do we get? Do we typically?
Well, that depends on the individual. I mean, let's say someone chooses to start in to be quadriplegic. Maybe you and I have to live 5 or maybe 6 lifetimes just in comparison to what they're learning, evolving, and growing in that one lifetime. So you can't judge somebody if they've had 10 lives or 30 lives until you kind of walk in their shoes and you know what they've gone through, they've been through. And then sometimes you might have a person that's going through a lifetime and they exit out early, they don't finish it, they don't complete it, so they got to do it over again. For instance, in suicide, our belief is that you don't get credit, you have to come back and do it all over again. And who wants to do that? Except for there is a gray area. If the person has a severe chemical imbalance and they're not in the right state of mind, even though it would go down as like a suicide per se, we would look at it as more of an accident. And in that type of situation, they don't have to come back and do it over again. They're make the transition from this lifetime to heaven. So that's good.
All right, let's go to the phone lines here. Hello, who's this? Good evening. Hello, you're live. Hello, go ahead. See, everyone's calling in now, but go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, this is Chris. What's your question?
Go ahead. I don't think. See,
is that beeping where people are calling?
Everyone's trying to call in.
3 6.
So here's what we're gonna do, I guess. All right, everyone who's called in, I know everyone's trying to get in. All right, we get that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Okay, everyone stand by for the standby. I know you're out there watching. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's go back to, I'm gonna go back to the list. Everybody watching, I'm gonna put the phone on hold. Everyone, just stand by. If you're watching, thank you. Here's what we're gonna do. Everyone just continuing to call in. So hold on just a second. Let's see if this is. Go ahead. Who's this? Go ahead.
Oh.
Yes.
I was wondering. I've always
this
thought.
again? Wait, hold on. What's your name again?
Kimberly. I'm sorry, from Kingston. I called earlier and got cut off.
Yes.
Yeah, Kimberly. Glad to have you back.
Thank you. I've always thought I was sensitive, but I was wondering if I had any other paranormal abilities.
Well, I know you have a healing potential. There's no doubt about that. I know that you're a bit of an empath too as well. And as far as the psychic sense, what's going wrong with that is you're jumping the gun. And what I mean by that is when you feel something, you should close your eyes and say, okay, how does that make me feel? You'll get your answer. You should write it down. And then you jump into the analyzing. You're jumping the gun with the analyzing. We all know once you analyze what you think about it, you can't get anything psychically. You ever turn into any of my YouTube channels, they're asking me a question. I got the answer before they're done asking the question. I don't give myself any time to think about it. It's not something you practice that gets better. It's something you're tapping into.
All right. Well, we thank you for calling in. Thank you, Kimberly, for checking in. We're going to go to the next caller. Here's what we should do, Chris, and so that we can get everybody through. I'm going to go through the numbers.
Is there any way when I'm answering the question that they can respond back?
Sure. We can. Yeah, we can do that as well. I'm trying to get it so that everyone's not calling in at the same time.
Good luck with that, Mario.
You know, is this Kimberly calling back? Okay. So what's going on is, because Kimberly's trying to get through, everyone's calling and jamming up the phone lines. Now, everybody, here's what we're going to say. To continue this properly, we're going to call on you to call in. Okay. Let everyone have their moment with Chris. Everyone, we're going to get through you. Now, if we can't do this, then we'll just stop and we'll do something else instead, where we'll just take the YouTube questions instead. If everyone is going to continue to jam the phone line. So we'll go back. The line will be for, I will say, okay, X Mario, it's time for you to call the show. Then Mario will call the show, and then I will have my moment. Everyone will have their chance. So please, there's people that have the same names. We put down the cities. So that's how we'll move forward. Okay. Now, Kimberly, go ahead and call back so we can finish your reading, and then we'll go to the next individual. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else. Maybe Jeff from or whoever the next person might be. Now, are you still there, Kimberly? Let's see.
I am still here.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Hi. Thank you so much, Chris. I got disconnected earlier. My name was Maria Douglas. I was the one that was saying that I feel like I'm a little sensitive and feel presences around me. If you could let me know if there's any messages from any loved ones, or what exactly am I feeling?
I think you're feeling your spirit guide, and I think your spirit guide is kind of more or less him and Han and wanting you to get in contact with him. So for you, because you're a bit of a perfectionist, why don't you do it this way? Wait, give it a week till you're really overly tired, because when you're really overly tired, your mind is not going to jump around because you're tired. So get yourself into a room that's very simplistic, put on the music. You can sing your own private karaoke or just sit there and listen. In about 2 minutes, you should be at the alpha state right before your daydream stage. Ask the question. You'll get an answer. Time will pass. You'll see the accuracy. And then you got to take the leap of faith and trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, no one else can do it. And you're going to get a lot of information by contacting your guide. If I was the best psychic in the world, I'm not saying I am, but if I was, I get pieces to people's life. Your spirit guide wrote out your blueprint and chart. They get everything. So if you can get the information that way, that's the way to do it. Besides, 24/7, you have them on call. And look at the money you'll save.
Anything else that you would like to ask, Maria?
Yes. Would you happen to know how my friend Elizabeth Phillips is doing? And if there's anything that she would like to let me know outside of me telling her I love her and miss her?
Oh, my goodness. I think she's in orientation. So I think she's busier than the Duracell bunny, because if you can imagine how many people pass away in a day and how many people are born in a day. So she's helping loved ones from this life to heaven and from heaven back to this life. So she's busy, a bond busy. Mother hen to everybody. But you're a lot like that as far as being a mother hen. I think she's very loving and kind. You guys have been sisters before, best friends before. So yes, you'll not, when it's your time, she's going to be right there with you, walk you through the tunnel. So you haven't lost anything.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. God bless.
Thank you, Maria. All right. So let's go to Lori in Lakeville. It is your opportunity to call the studio line now. You have the phone number. Lori, you're up next. So we look forward to having you. You know, Chris, how many lifetimes have I lived?
31.
31.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot going back to the Egyptian times, the Roman times, the Atlantis, the Viking period. So if you were to see a war movie, you're going to want to watch it. You're going to want to turn it off. You're going to get upset with it. You're just not going to know what to do with yourself, because a lot of those things will ring true. And you can pick up, because everyone's psychic. It's just like an athlete. Some athletes are faster than others. Some people are simply more psychic than others. So when you go to a place and you just step off the plane, you say, gosh, I feel like it's home, or this or that, or go to Egypt and this. If you go to Egypt and things like that, you'll feel like you belong there, because you've had about 5 significant past lives there, which is a good number.
Good evening. Is this Lori? Go ahead. Who's this?
I finally got that through. I'm sorry. Thank you all for being so patient.
Is this Lori?
No, this is Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly. Did we get through you?
We did her.
Yeah, we got you earlier. We lost you.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was it. I heard him say that I was somewhat of an empath, but that I was jumping the gun a lot and needed to calm down.
You overanalyze. You got to put the overanalyzing back a couple of minutes and allow your gut instinct to come in so you can get that clear. It's best to have both sides of both sides, the gut instinct and you're analyzing. When the analyzing jumps forward, you can't get anything psychically, and you don't want to nix that. You want both sides of it.
Thank you, Kimberly, for calling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
so we are looking for our good friend who should be calling in now, Lori from Lakeville. Now, let's see if this is Lori. Please tell me that your name is Lori. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
This
good
is
evening.
Lori from Lakeville calling.
Good evening. How
Hi,
are
happy
you?
birthday, Chris.
Hey, thank you so much. What's your question, dear?
My question is, will my mom make it to her 89th birthday?
I believe that she will make it, but you have to understand something. She's tired, and she, I believe, doesn't know what's keeping her still here. And she's going to start talking an awful lot about her mom. And when she starts talking an awful lot about her mom, that's a telltale to you that she's getting ready to make her transition, because she's not, she's seeing her mom on the other side. Her mom is visiting her. So, but she'll go there. She's had many past lives. She'll feel great running around and things like this. She's just tired, dear. And it would not be a bad idea if you sit and say, Mom, I love you. I care for you. But at any time, if you want to go, then you have my permission, because you're very dear to her heart. And even when she does go, heaven's not way up in the sky. It's only 4 feet up. So she'll be visiting a lot. So you lose the body. You don't never lose the soul.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that. Just tell her that it would be okay to cross over now, 'cause she's in memory care right now. And
I think when you do that, you're going to see, now take this in a positive, a decline with this, because she's preparing to go. It's something she wants to do. She's not afraid, but she's going home to heaven. So there's nothing to be afraid about.
yeah, and I'll be happy.
Think about it. If everyone knew exactly what heaven was like, no one would be sticking around this place. I mean, I personally don't believe in hell. I don't. But if there's anything closest to it, we're doing it. So if we're doing it here, we can just about take anything.
Yeah, well, it'll be wonderful for her.
Yes, it will, because she will be running around. Back when she was younger, she would run amok. She puts your and my wildness to shame.
Yep.
Thank you, Lori, for calling in.
Thank you, Lori. God bless.
So much, Chris. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you too.
I hope that all of you guys who are listening and watching will become U.S. Phenomenon fans, those who are Chris Dufresne fans. So hopefully, because I don't remember the last time any paranormal radio show does both radio and TV. So we're cutting edge when it comes to that. We're going to go ahead and go to Kai in Ocean Shores. So she's up next. Kai from Ocean Shores, you're up next to call the show this evening. So thank you very much, Kai, if you're standing by. Chris, I was thinking about this earlier, about all the transition stuff that's been going on with the uncertainty in the world. And it just seems so busy right now, with the earthquakes and, all this tension in the world. Chris,
We're not going to have a nuclear war. We're not going to have a third world war. The worst case scenario, we might not be able to eat out of our oceans. We may have to have farm raised fish. There's not going to be any AI human camp or anything along that, or anything along germ warfare. There's not going to be anything like that to worry about.
Good. That's good to hear, to think about that, because at the end of the day, that kind of stuff, as you know, scares me. I'm like, nah, I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, but the dinosaurs were here, and they're extinct, and humans are here, and eventually will be extinct. But the world always finds life; it always reboots itself, comes back in.
All right, Kai, we're going to give you another moment to give us a jingle here on the studio hotline, and then we'll move on to the next. Kai's up next. Kai from Ocean Shores. Kai Hadfield is her last name. Kai, if you're standing by and watching, we'd love to have you call in and talk to Chris. Here we go. We'll go to the hotline here. And good evening, Kai. Welcome to U.S. Phenomenon.
Hello, dear. What's your question?
Sure.
Kai.
Hadfield is the last name. Kai, if you're
Hello?
watching,
yes, go ahead.
have you call in and talk to Chris.
Okay.
Hello, dear, what's your question? Do you have a question for me?
Oh,
yes, I apologize. Just had a little bit of an internet interruption there.
If
Yes,
your TV's on, you can turn that down. You'll hear better.
okay, I'm doing that also. Here we go. My big question right now is what happens next for me? I just retired and I just don't know what's happening next.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. You're retired, but not for long because you're one of these, like my mother was, a very go, go, go person. You're not one of these couch potatoes, watch bonbons and game show. You really go. So you are retired. You're going to go back to work and volunteer some and work and make an income, not because you have to, but because you want to. There's a very big difference in that. Okay. So this will be good because you'll be helping people, you'll be helping animals, you'll be doing a lot of good. So for that reason, that's great. Your health is doing really well, but you need to get your T3 and your T4 checked as far as your thyroid. And you need to try to work on getting some of that inflammation out of your lower back because I don't want the sciatic nerve to come into play. And you need to also make sure you're drinking your allotted amount of water. You're doing okay, but you're not doing enough. You need to do more because they say half your body weight in ounces. So if I'm 250, cut that in half, that would be 125. Why? Your uric acid is starting to climb. And we don't want that. We want the water to flush it because if uric acid climbs, we're dealing with kidney stones and gout. And then with the water, we don't want to get to where you're starting to lead towards being dehydrated because that can really wear you out. So just with the water alone, it cuts out 3 major issues. So just be good to yourself. You're smart with nutrition. You just got to take your time out to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling. Have a good night.
Good night.
You know, Chris, when people call in and they're like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and what should I do next? For myself, or like my daughter was saying earlier, she's like, I don't know if I believe in that, Dad. I was like, well, you know what?
You know what I would say is I have friends that love psychics. I have friends that don't believe in psychics. And we just don't get on the topic.
Right.
But, I have not come across anyone that has walked down the street and those little hairs on your neck stand up. You say, I don't know, but I'm creeped out. Go get the car. Why? Because I feel something weird here.
Right.
Or you meet somebody you can't stand them, or you meet somebody you love them, or you go to a place and you feel like it's home. What do you think that is? That's knowing and knowledge from before. That's why we call it people with that souls. You can meet somebody and just adore them and feel like you've known them your whole life and you talk to them for a couple of seconds. So what do you think that's from?
Let's go to let's see what we got here going on the lines. We got just a ton of people just texting us in here on the YouTube stream. Hi, Chris. It's just lovely to see how many people are taking the time this evening to call it.
So astonished about the birthday. Everyone's wishing me happy birthday. That's fantastic. Not 57 years. Now I'm getting it. That's great.
It's interesting because we're getting phone callers, but I don't know that. Let's see here. Good evening. Who's this?
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Who's this?
This is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Where are you calling from this evening?
Hi. How are you?
That's a lovely name. That was my mom's sister's name, Sharon. That's not a very.
Sharon, where are you? Sharon, where are you calling from this evening?
I'm driving home from work. I'm in Apple Valley, California.
All right. What's your question for Chris this evening?
What's my question? Wow. Where do you see me in the next 2 years?
That's a reading. Can you be more specific?
Wait more. Gosh, I don't even know where. I didn't even know what to ask you. What do I want to know about myself? I mean, do I ask? Do I have? How long? I mean, do you see me living a happy, successful life? Do you see me still being married in 2 years? I mean, I don't.
I believe that you'll still be married. Yes, I believe that you guys have your differences. Both are sensitive, both are stubborn, both want to have your own way. But he really does love you, and I think he's going to put more effort into it at this present point in time. I think you've worn a lot of hats in this marriage, and you've been holding it together very, very well. And you don't want to get out and date anybody and things like this. You want him to be more in love with you, and I think he's going through a little bit of change himself too, and I think that will come a little bit more to the forefront. So I'm excited for you with that. You have good health from this point with your life, and you have longevity, and this is your last life. So I think you got some really good, solid years that you're going into. And the good thing is you really don't need a psychic. Things are okay.
Sharon, thank you for calling this evening.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a good life. Absolutely. I'm happy for you. It made my job easier.
I appreciate that.
It's not me. You wrote it. I'm just telling you.
Thank you so much. All right. So Chris, I mean, it's crazy. We just, they come in, and then we have Anne Marie here, just wishing us both a happy birthday. We'll get to you shortly here. Good evening. Go ahead. You're so everyone is starting to call the phone line again. So stand by, everyone. We will call you and call your name. So if you're calling in, it is not your time to call yet. I haven't asked for anyone's name just yet. Good evening. Who's this? Okay, so there we go. This allows us to have awesome readings this way, okay? We want to make sure we get through everyone. I know that we have a very long list, and we're getting close to the end of the TV show. So let's see who we can get in here next. Let's go to, I believe, Charlotte from Wisconsin. Charlotte, you're up next. If you are still watching, you're up next. So go ahead and call the hotline that you were given earlier. It is your turn to call in. This makes it easier for everyone, Chris, and for all of us, right? You know, it just gives us an opportunity.
Well, I need to have a technician when we do the YouTube so that they can pin the questions, because the feed just comes down so quickly.
Right. And it helps. Yes. Good evening. I believe we already had Sharon come in. Now, hello. Good evening. Who's this? Hello.
Hello, this is Charlotte.
Charlotte, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Charlotte.
Thank you. Hello.
What's your question, dear?
Oh, my question is, with my last reading with you, you had meeting my love coming soon, and I was just wondering if you could let me know about how long and like what type of environment that I'm going to meet him in, or where I'm going to meet him.
The environment looks to be some type of a store that's around a lot of books, not really magazines, but books. And I think the timeline probably would be about maybe 6, maybe 8 weeks. You are activating, you are getting out, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm getting out every opportunity possible.
Perfect. That makes me so happy. It's music to my ears. Give it a couple months tops. And you got to realize something, though. 2 months, and you don't really have a single life at all. I mean, you're going to be in a companionship, which you long for, and it's terrific. I champion that. But you can either count the days, or you can enjoy 2 months to do all the things you can do, because after that, it's like, I got to check with my partner and see if we can go with this and that and the other. You understand what I'm saying? Because you get very intense with your mind. You do a lot of analyzing from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Aren't you tired doing that? Tired?
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother would seriously say, just stop doing it. Of course, easier, but just relax your mind. You got to find a way to put yourself on timeout and just hit the switch and just relax yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. I'm not talking about jumping on a couch. I'm talking about mentally, physically, emotionally. For me, if I jump on Pisces, if I jump on my car, go over the hill to Santa Cruz, which is a beach area, watch the waves crash for a couple minutes, get back in my car, come back home. It's like I totally decompress. It's like I didn't work 1 minute out of the day. I'm good to go. And it's like a mini vacation for me. You need to find something like I have like that for me, for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Otherwise, you can't give it 100% because you're worn out.
I know I am.
Well, I was doing what you're doing. My staff would call you saying, sorry, Chris can't do the reading right now. He's tired. He's got to get some rest. He's overanalyzed. His mind's going 100 miles an hour. He needs to get some rest.
So true.
Yeah. Gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bless you all.
Oh, good night. You know, it's funny because there are people that are watching, and some of these people are laughing because they're like, they didn't know that I was stubborn, or just some of the people.
Sorry, Mario. Sorry to do that to you.
You know,
Stubborn. Well, guys, if you looked up stubborn in the dictionary, you see Mario's face.
yeah, it should, right? You know, is that why, Chris, I'm single? Is that why?
Mario, you're fair if it's your way.
Yeah, that this is true. Everyone just, Chris, wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone. It was so great to be back here with you, Mario. I hope we can do it again sooner than a year, Mario. If you guys like us, tell them to have me back on.
Yes. We have a couple more. Should we get to these calls before we go?
Yes.
Let's get to
I'll
these.
stay here as long as you want.
Okay, let's try and get through all these. Okay, I know Tracy in Atlanta. Tracy, you're up next. If you're still watching, we'd like to thank you, and then we'll get to the next one after that. You know what's interesting, Chris? When I was when I envisioned doing these, I'm like, I want to make sure they're right, so that we have the ability to make sure that they're not just, it's not here tomorrow. We're not burning out to the place where we're like, oh yeah, that was great. It was so good. It was so much fun. And I'm like, I don't want to waste the opportunity.
I enjoy my career. I love my career. I mean, I'm very grateful and very honored to be having someone take upon my company and have me come in and look to see where I can help and assist and guide and forewarn. I mean, it's a very much of a privilege. And I mean, think about it. Every half an hour of my life, I'm in a different place in the world. And with my guide feeding me the information, I'm kind of like the messenger, so to speak. I learn a lot. I hear a lot. I experience a lot. And sometimes if the life ends up to be an open book, I will share some of my issues and things like that, so I don't feel alone doing it. And it's almost like by the time it's done, it's like a family member or a best friend. I take this very personal because, nothing's going to happen on my watch. Absolutely. We're having a little bit of trouble where there's Sylvia Brown Group, which is my mother, and it's our company. But there's other Sylvia Brown groups that spell their name not like we spell it, and it's not us. So you really got to do your homework and make sure if you're calling the right company.
Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on.
What's your question?
Oh, let me make sure we got our the person piped in here. Go ahead.
Michelle from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah. Good evening. Who's this?
Hi, it's Michelle from Ontario, Canada.
Hi, Michelle from Ontario, Canada. How can I help you?
Hi, I would love to know if I'm going to be moving to a lake or a lake view.
Absolutely. You love the water. You don't even have to be in the water. You love the water. I don't think you're now here we go with stubborn. You're way too stubborn not to do this. I would say absolutely 100% you're going to do that. You want the time period?
And would that be soon?
It'll be about 14 months. That's pretty soon.
Oh, 14 months is wonderful.
Congratulations. You've been waiting to do this your whole life, and you're going to get to do it. Send us pictures. Send them in to Mario. We'll put them up.
Yeah, we'll put them up.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the call. God bless.
Love you. I love your mom. Thank you. You too. Bye.
Very sweet.
Very sweet. And what's interesting too, for those who are from a younger generation, I mean, I was so like captivated by watching your mom on local TV here on channel 4, Como TV on Northwest Afternoon, and then watching her on
Montel.
Yeah, on Montel. Good evening. Who's this? Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
This is Anna. Did I actually get through?
Yes. Go ahead, Anna.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday. Hi, Mario. I know your birthday's tomorrow too, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
What's the question?
So my question is, I've had some dramatic changes in my life recently, and I don't know how to move forward. So,
it's kind of like saying your old life is past and your new life is beginning. And certainly your loved ones from the other side are going to help you and they're going to guide you. You've always been a survivor and a fighter, and you're going to get through this. I think because you've gone through this over 100 times in your mind, you're really worn out with it. I get that. But dear, your health is good And there's people that, as far as 2 friends at least coming in, and a gentleman friend that's coming in, so you're not gonna be alone, and you're very spiritual, you got a healing potential. You need to start getting out and helping people, and I think it's you help people and the universe takes care of you, dear.
Yeah.
So the more you get out, that's more healing you're gonna go through. And, you're gonna think I'm crazy when I say this to you, but you got a book in you, so you might wanna get one of those mini micro handheld tape recorders and put on your bedside, and when you wake up, hit play and record, forget about it. When the tapes fill up and it's too much to close your drawer, go back and transcribe. 70% will be gibberish and 30% will be very good information that you'll be able to prove to yourself that you got a book in you, and that will be helpful with healing with you, and certainly a lot of people will be able to identify with it, so it's good all the way around.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Thank you for calling.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it's interesting because Chris, I don't know. I haven't done this in a long time. Or here's something that has come to my just recently, my grandmother, who's been gone for such a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, I was trying to remember, like 2003, I think she passed. And I'm like, well, I've had a lot of my grandparents have been gone. And, Sophie and I were talking, it's like, man, I wish, my grandma was around, you could have met her, or, the things.
Yeah, I get that all the time. Some people, my mom's been going on, it'll be 10 years this November 20th that she'll be on 10 years, and some people don't even know that she's even passed yet. But why don't you do yourself this favor? Anybody else that's listening can also do this. Write something down on a piece of paper, fold it up, put it somewhere where no one else can see it. Don't ask for $1 million. You're not going to get that. But you can ask for someone to give you a hug, or someone to give you a flower, or someone to tip your hat off you, or something like this. Give it about 10 days and see if that doesn't happen.
Hello.
Just make you a believer that your loved ones are watching over you. I don't know what would.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Go ahead. Who's this?
Hi, dear. What's your question?
Hi.
I'm getting more of the word.
I know. What is my spirit guide's name, and what job should I be doing, and what business I should be doing?
You're going to have to slow down there. I know you're driving or you're in a car, but we can't make out your question. Go ahead.
Your spirit guy's name is Genevieve. I got that part, but I didn't get the rest of it.
Okay. What job should I be doing in my business life purpose?
What is she saying, Mario?
Something about job. Is that right, ma'am?
What job should I be doing, or business, like life purpose?
I would say anything in human resources, anything that would be in that realm. You always go for the underdog. You always go for helping people, no matter what. You don't got a selfish bone in your body.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks for calling in. God bless, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. We need to stand by. So for those who are watching, don't go anywhere. Our TV affiliate, North Beach Community TV, is leaving us. So thank you, North Beach Community TV. We'll continue with the stream. Let's go to Port Gamble. And Eileen in Port Gamble, you're up next. Please call us if you're still watching, and we'd love to have you a part. Go ahead and give us a jingle. Chris, when I look at having you back on, or just having the time to spend with you, I know last time we just went through, I was in the studio at the flagship station, and I love this version. Definitely need to work out the bugs in regards to the phone line situation. But other than that, it's nice to have the touch me, see me, feel me aspect of the show.
I'm not technical by any stretch of the imagination, because my staff, I say, just don't tell me, just make sure it works, make sure the internet doesn't drop, but let me know what the live button is so I can be good to go. But it would be great if, when we're doing this, if the person that's calling in, that her picture could be up, or his picture could be up with us, and then they can ask me the question, I get the answer, and we see expressions and things like this. That would be nice.
what should be happening is what we can do next time is we can open them all to come through the same portal that you
the squares, right? Yeah.
Can you imagine?
For sure. Let's do that. That sounds great.
Yeah, we'll do that. So for those who are still watching, I know we have a few, and we want to get to you. Let me go back and look at my list here. I know that we had Eileen from Port Gamble. If you're still available, great. I know Kathy in Brooklyn, New York. If you're watching, please let us know. Give us a call. You're up next. We'll go through these as well. You know, it's crazy, Chris. We have just a ton of people sending messages out here. Apologize if calls dropped. Thank you again.
They're just very kind. Very, very
happy
kind.
birthday.
It's so nice to see that. It really is. People have been asking me an awful lot about my mother, that they don't have closure. So I just want you guys to know we're not sitting on our laurels over here. Larry Waldenberg has written a movie of my mother's, a script of a movie of my mother's life, and he's getting that ready to get out and pitch that. So that'll be coming in not too far in the distant future. So people will get a lot to see Sylvia that way.
It's funny because someone here, we'll get to the caller here real quick, and it says, look at this. It's funny because someone said I was stubborn. Haha, Mario. Chris, thanks, Chris, for, it's just funny. Let's go to the phone line here. Good evening. Who's this?
This is Irene in Port Gamble.
Hi, Irene. What's your question for me?
COVID. Am I going to get sick?
Well, I mean, no, unless you go out and let somebody cough on you and things like that. So you take all your necessary precautions and do all that, and you're going to be fine. Your immune system is fantastic. It's like a 20-year-old, so you got nothing to worry about.
I got real sick in November from it, Chris.
That's your past, not your present, and not your future. That's over.
All right.
And listen to me. You're still here because you're getting a question answered. So that's got to tell you what a survivor and fighter you are. Come on.
Right.
Oh, you're awesome, Chris. That's exactly what I needed. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for calling. Port Campbell's such a lovely town. Very haunted out there. It is.
Send me.
Beautiful.
I've been there. I know it very well. I grew up and spent many weekends there, and do on occasions as well. So it's great. Port Campbell's a very lovely town out there. So again, thank you. Thank you for calling us this evening.
Thanks for asking. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So I know that we have so many people that are still trying to get in. I know we missed Tracy. Tracy didn't make it. I know we're looking for Kathy. So those two can, if you have a chance, we're going to try to get you to call back in. Oh, no, I think we got Tracy early.
Next time, Mario, we can go on longer, or we could do closer dates together so more people can get in.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't we do this? Yeah, we'll take one more call. If they call in, if Kathy calls in from Brooklyn, we'll take her. And then what we'll do is we'll schedule another date to have you come back in. And what we'll do.
Everyone come back and see me. I love you guys.
But here's what we're going to do, Chris. We'll give everyone the opportunity to be a part of the show.
Absolutely. That's great.
And then that way it's more manageable for me.
Yeah,
and then,
do the squares like we talked. Put as many up there as you can.
Yeah, for sure. No one wants to see this mug, but Chris, again, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us.
It's my pleasure. I feel honored that you remember me. I'm like, is he ever going to call?
No, that is so not true, Chris.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Mario. It's okay.
I love it. Here's what I'm going to say too. From the beginning, this has not been, for those who have been a part of the show from the Northwest Phenomenon days to the U.S. Phenomenon days. The first time you came on the show, we were just a podcast, and it was just so small. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get Chris, the world-renowned Chris Dufresne from, his mom, Sylvia Brown. I'm like, there's no way he's coming on the show. And I think even prior to that, we had a very different dynamic in regards to the show. We had an astrologer that would come on every week, and it's nice.
I liked you. You're a good person. I liked you. That's why I'm here. I like you. And I love helping the people, but I liked you.
And the thing that I think that would, for everyone who's called in and been a part this evening, thank you for having patience with us. If we didn't get to you this evening, we promise, make sure you send me a text to the phone, say, hey, I didn't get in. We will put you to the front of the line.
Great job, guys. They'll have me back now.
Yeah. Yes. We will have you back on from the Pacific Northwest. Chris, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Again, thank you for coming on. And those who are technically, thank you everyone and being patient with us.
Thank you all. Love you all.
Continue to break the boundaries on how we do this. What we'll do next is we're going to have everyone back on, but we'll have everyone so you can see their faces on the show.
Everything right there. That's great.
Chris, before you go, are you working on anything besides the TV, the documentary?
Well, a movie of my mother's life, and then we have a documentary that's coming up with my mother and I. We have a book. I have a book of my mother's that's never been released. I'm going to release it on her 10-year, most likely get that in the publication. We've got shows coming out in New York and Connecticut as far as some lecture things. And, the readings and the YouTube channel that I'm on, 3:00 Pacific Standard Time, Psychic Awareness, Chris Dufresne. You can go and be there, and people ask me questions from all over the world, and we do it all for free. It's like a way of us paying it forward.
Yeah, tune in every Sunday. We'll have it available on the podcast, on the YouTube stream. Everything will be available so that you can watch Chris every week. Chris, we just have so many people just saying thank you this evening. Thank you both. Thank
you, everybody. God bless. Stay uplifted.
And again, thank you so much for taking the time this evening to be a part of the show. And again, from the bottom of my heart, Chris, I just thank you so much.
Anytime you want me, you got me.
We got to do it again for sure. So from the Pacific Northwest, I'd like to thank our guest tonight, Chris Dufresne. Go to his website, go to his Twitter. It's available. All the links will be provided on our podcast, wherever you download your podcast. Chris, are you doing a podcast too, or are you just doing the YouTube stuff?
Doing the YouTube, doing TikTok, doing Instagram. What else am I doing here? That's pretty much. I'm going to start podcasting. I'm going to do a little bit of Chris Roberts, like my version of reality stuff of what goes on, because I've been showing my house and things like that. People, your house looks normal. Like, what do you think my house is supposed to look like? Right. Puts a ball in every room. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, again, thank you. And for those who don't know, I mean, yes, your mom has been gone for quite some time, and
Mario, I have her more with me now than when the woman was alive, because when she was alive, she's always traveling 9 months out of a 12-month year. And now I don't have her more than yelling distance from me every day of the week. So I don't feel like I'm doing it alone. And I love and adore my mother. If you call me a mommy's boy, I'd take that title any day of the week. And to have her with me, I got a news flash for everybody. This life is not serious. It's no big deal. We walk out of this dimension into another dimension. We keep on going. That's not serious.
Again, from the bottom of my heart, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us this evening. From the Pacific Northwest, I'd like to thank Chris Dufresne, everyone who was a part this evening, all our affiliates, KOSW, KGRG, KAPY, our flagship station, KVI, our new affiliate, North Beach Community TV. We'd like to thank you all again. As I like to say, be sure to look up at the sky, because you never know what you might see. Good night.
Bye-bye.